So about, I guess now it would be 7 months ago, I had a misfire code on my car. Uh, I was told, go to Firestone because it was open. I told them this is what happened. They charged me over $100 just for a basic diagnostic. They said I needed new coils and spark plugs. I said, okay. I got the car back a few days later and it was running worse than when I took it into the shop. But things that made me go, okay, well, the car's aging. So maybe this is just how the car's supposed to sound. I'm not sure. My partner would comment on the fact that it would tremble occasionally. Coils and spark plugs they're supposed to last quite a long time. 6 months after the repair job and very minimal driving, my car shakes and the check engine light starts to flash, and I took it home, called a few people, said this is what happened. I had a few people scan the car, and it had the same misfire from 6 months prior. I was told you should reach out to Firestone, see if they'll do any warranty work. When I called them, I was met with a sharpness in the tone of the gentleman that answered the phone and he said, we are outside of your 90-day warranty, which I personally don't think is a fair amount of time when you're handling something like an automotive repair. He said, we might be able to do some warranty work for you, but we'd have to diagnose it ourselves, which I had already had it diagnosed twice at this point, had paperwork for both. After jumping through a few hoops, that I have a bent valve in my engine, have been trying to pursue Firestone because valves bend when the intake manifold is taken off. My intake manifold was only taken off by the folks at Firestone. Everything beyond that was oil change, brakes, things that don't involve my engine. I was in a back and forth with customer service. The regional manager reached out to me and said, well, you need to bring it in for an official diagnosis because, his words, not mine, I don't understand how it went from coils and spark plugs to you having a bent valve in your engine. I don't know what any of these people are talking about. So then the area manager was directed to me and said, you need to get a formal diagnosis. I can't submit a customer's word to my claims team. I'm happy to help you set up a diagnostic appointment. And I told him, I said, well, couple problems. My car is dead. I cannot drive it. And to my knowledge, the level of diagnostic that would be required would be easily over $1,500 because my engine would have to come out of my car. Because of how my car is designed, they would have to drop the engine out of the bottom. And I said, I can't afford that level of diagnostic and I can't get the car there. I was very transparent with customer service and everybody up the ladder that I spoke to. I can't afford to get that level of diagnostic done. But the car has been looked at and this is what's wrong with it. So climbed the ladder, got a phone call from corporate. He said that I refused diagnostic, which is not correct at all. And said, I'm assuming your next step would be to pursue legal action, which is fine because we have all of our paperwork lined up. So I reached out to my customer service rep, who was a sweetheart through this entire ordeal, and said, this is what corporate said to me. I don't appreciate how this was handled. because I've been incredibly transparent that times are tough for everybody. And to make the assumption that I would pursue legal action when I can't even afford to get an official diagnostic done on my car is ridiculous. And she has documentation of every interaction that I've had, because anytime something went poorly, I went back to her. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. We have a dead car, and nobody wants to take accountability for what was done to my car. I feel like just getting the reimbursement for how much I've spent would be absolutely the ideal situation, but also I really want someone to go to that location because it's Firestone in Wilmington, North Carolina. I've spent hours upon hours looking at reviews, talking to other customers in town that have had negative experiences. I want that particular location to be investigated because I know that they're doing very haphazard work.